Good morning, super friends, and welcome to the Friday, November 14th edition of the Sacred News and Weather. I'm absolutely delighted to have you here with me today, whether you're tuning in real time or in later time. I'm pleased to be with you. I've got little Jet here on my flank. We may be joined by other animals, as you well know by now, if you've been watching for any length of time. I got to tell you, um, the message that I'm going to deliver for you today actually arrived yesterday in a clear sort of way. And I very nearly came in yesterday to deliver the message to you, but I ran out of time before I had to pick up the kids, and I was just too tired to give it to you last night. Um, but it came on quickly and painfully and really wanted my attention. And so I'm going to share that unfolding with you today. I feel like this message might be for a very specific person or a very specific group of people. So if you're tuning in and this is not resonating with you, it's very likely not going to be your message. With that said, I do feel like there are global messages in here, but just know that I got like hit over the head or like dropped in with a very particular frequency yesterday, and it was hard to hold. And so if this message does resonate with you, just know that I'm sending you so much love and so much empathy and just holding you and keeping you close because I can feel how difficult it is for you right now. Without any further ado, I'm just going to share with you the whole unfolding of my experience and what came through for us. So, I was on my way to Costco, of all places, and it was kind of crappy weather. It was raining, the roads were a little bit slippery. And I was driving and I was really genuinely focused on the road. I wasn't listening to anything on the radio. I wasn't like thinking about anything. There were no old storylines coming through that I was mulling over that I'm aware of. And I feel like that's the absolute truth because I was really focused on my minivan on the road, on the freeway. And I was driving, and all of a sudden, I got overwhelmed by this feeling first of what I can only describe as like panic, like I was going to have a panic attack. And then this feeling of overwhelming, like, grief and fear simultaneously. It was like it wasn't a waxing and waning. It wasn't like grief, fear, but it was like griefier, like just like moving through my system. I could have burst into tears. I could have hyperventilated, but instead I was like, what the actual fuck is happening to me right now? Because I don't think this is me. And it wasn't. And so the first thing I want to say is because I hear the question in my ear, like, this happens to me. What, like, how do you know that it's not you? And here's what I'll say about that before I move forward. If you are someone who can tune into other people's frequencies and can sometimes experience a panic attack or an overwhelming grief or an overwhelming feeling that you are experiencing personally, but doesn't feel like it belongs to you. The way that I know that it doesn't belong to me, let's see. The way that I know is, first of all, I was concentrated utterly on the road, and there were no storylines coming through that would have evoked those feelings in me. There was no particular trigger in my actual present time or present space that I was aware of that would bring me to that feeling. And yes, the roads were sketchy, but not that sketchy. And I've been in far more precarious situations. I was just being aware when this feeling overcame me when I was overcome. I don't know what's happening with my tenses there. Forgive me. So that's the first thing. Like I knew it wasn't me because that's not at all where I was, and it wasn't related to anything that was happening in my present moment. The other way that I knew that it wasn't mine was because I directly asked Spirit, okay, I see that you want my attention. I see that somebody needs my attention, but I'm driving the car. Could you take this from me? And I will receive it when I can get to a place where it is safe to receive. And the feeling immediately left me. So if you are someone who experiences feelings like this that may or may not be yours, and sometimes they are mine, sometimes feelings do overtake me unexpectedly and they do belong to me and they are for me. But when I am overcome by something that feels uncomfortable or is distracting me from the road, I will actually say, hey, spirit, hey, God, hey, divine, hey, source, whatever your word is, insert it here. Hey, you, I'm having a time here. And if this is mine and if it is in fact for me, then okay, show me what it is that I need to know here. If this is not mine, if this is not for me, could you please take it from me? And I'll tell you that 9 times out of 10, that feeling leaves. It just goes. Or I will be shown specifically who that feeling is so that I can reach out to that person. Sometimes it's a client, sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a loved one, sometimes it's one of my kids. I will be shown who it is and who needs my energetic attention. And yesterday, what I heard when I asked Spirit to like pause, hold on, I'll come to this, but not while I'm driving a car. What I heard, I did see a few specific faces, some whom I recognized and some whom I did not. But what I heard was this is for the collective. And so there's more than one of you, some of you that I probably don't even know in person or otherwise, who are going to resonate with this message. So what did I do? I pulled over, I pulled into the parking lot of Costco and I pulled kind of away from the people and I just closed my eyes and I got into meditation and I was like, okay, show me. I can feel this now. I'm here for this now. And what I was shown was, first of all, the reason why it overcame me in that time. And it was probably, I don't know, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:30 Pacific time, somewhere between 12:30 and 1:30 Pacific is when I was overtaken by that feeling. And what I was shown was there was someone in real time who was feeling that very feeling of, this is too much. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be here. And it was actually a little bit heartbreaking. There was a feeling of, and I'm going to say it, and I want you to know that it was not my feeling in case anyone should worry. The feeling was, I would rather be dead than feel like this for the rest of my life. And it was absolutely heartbreaking for me in that moment. And here is what unfolded from there. I also heard from, so there was that vibration of panic and grief and I can't live like this. I can't be like this. I would almost, it was almost, I would almost rather be dead. So I didn't get the feeling that someone had suicidal ideations at all. It was just this acute discomfort in their body. And what I heard was, and I wrote it down, actually. I wrote it down in my notebook yesterday, and I'm going to read it because I just want to get it right. You'll never find fulfillment in places you weren't meant to be. You will never find fulfillment in places you weren't meant to be. You will never find fulfillment in places you weren't meant to be. And so there were several layers that I heard in there with this feeling of panic in my body. And that was, the first feeling was, I am in the wrong physical place. Like there, it felt like there was a physical location. Maybe it's the home that you're living in, maybe it's your work environment, maybe it is the country that you're in. The Lord knows that's up for many of us right now. There was this feeling of of I am in the wrong place. I should not be here. I am not meant to be here. But there was also this place of I am afraid to leave here. I am afraid to go toward where it is that I'm supposed to go because I'm not sure where that place is. It was like this feeling of like path A, path B, path C, path D, all of these pathways unfolding and being so overwhelmed by the present moment, by this feeling in your body, this feeling in your being, that like you couldn't even begin to look at the pathways because you couldn't even breathe. And so the first thing I did was just like ground the energy to see if I could get clear on what was actually happening. And the way I did that was just by bringing earth energy up around the collective, our collective, but there were particular people that I was seeing. Again, some of them I knew, some of them I didn't, but the feeling was almost wrapping the energy in a blanket of earth and just like giving off, letting the collective know like it is okay to relax into the earth. So some of you, what that tells me is some of you like literally need to get outside and get on the earth, get your feet in the earth. And I'm hearing, but it's cold outside. Yeah, you don't need to stay there for hours. Go and put your feet in the cold, cold earth. Go and put your cheek against the ground. Lay down, lie down, lie down. Here's me in the tenses again. On the ground and just let the earth hold you, or imagine the earth rising up around you to ground you, just a blanket of warmth, a blanket of mothering energy is what it felt like. And not mothering energy of like toxic motherhood of like nagging and you're not good enough, but like true mother holding an infant and comforting her, comforting him, letting yourself be comforted by the earth. That was the first thing I did in my minivan in the parking lot of Costco yesterday so that I could get to where we were meant to go, which is you'll never find fulfillment in a place you weren't meant to be. So the next piece, like in there, so maybe you're in the wrong place, maybe you're living in the wrong spot, as I said, and it could be locational, it could be job, it could be relationship. It could be like in the 3D world, in the human realm, you'll never find fulfillment in the places you weren't meant to be. Some of you are looking for fulfillment in a relationship, in a job, in a home, in a specific environment, and you're being asked to pause and reevaluate. Or part of that panic could have been that some decision was made for you that kind of blew up your world, which was inviting that sense of panic into your system, that feeling of, sorry, my nose just got really itchy. I don't know what that means. I think my mom used to say it meant you're either going to kiss a fool or have a fight. So maybe one or the other collectively. The feeling is that a situation may have been blown up for you. So sometimes when we are being led in a direction, driven in a direction by spirit, and we are not getting the memo, we are resisting. Our egoic self, our messy human self is resisting the direction that spirit is trying to push us. If we get to a certain point, it's that like that point of like either you're going to do this by choice, silly human, or I'm going to do it for you. It feels like many of you, and the reason why this panic is setting in is because many of you have gotten to that point where, okay, you could have made a choice, you could have made a choice, and now it's being made for you. So maybe it's a home being foreclosed upon, maybe it is a breakup, maybe it is a job loss. Whatever it is like Change is imminent because you are no longer being fulfilled. And whether you are recognizing it yourself or spirit's like, tried giving you all the memos so that you could make much more gentle choices here. You could have chosen, you could have walked on your own free will, but you weren't getting the memo. So now kablam, here you go. And now here is the panic of, oh shit, I'm no longer in choice. The choice has been made for me. And so this is going to resonate with some of you here as well. Again, not all of you. There are different pathways to get here, just as I'm seeing all of these other pathways laid out before you, which also feels like a source of the panic, a source of the anxiety. Too many choices. And here is what I want to say to you. If you're feeling like there are too many options, I don't know which path to choose, you don't need to choose in this moment from this place of panic, from this place of, and this harkens back to Wednesday's message of shifting ground, of shifting foundation. You don't need to choose from this place. You're being invited to get still and get quiet and listen to your heart, listen to your belly, listen to anything from the neck down. So, not to the voices in your head, not to the wounds that are pulling on you and the stories that are pulling on you, but to listen to your body and listen to what your heart and your being are trying to tell you from this quiet place, from this place directly connected to spirit, directly connected to Mama Earth. How will you know that you're there? You'll know that you're there because you're not going to feel panicky anymore. You're going to feel more like that blanket of earth is holding you, is surrounding you, has you wrapped in love. And from this place, you can listen. And I feel like if you can get yourself to that place, if you can get just quiet enough for just a brief moment, because I can hear somebody saying, I can never get quiet. You can pause for 30 seconds. I guarantee you, you can pause. You can lean back into Mama Earth. You can allow that earthen blanket to wrap you and hold you, to swaddle you tight. And you can ask to be shown what that pathway is. And it's going to light up for you. Your heart already knows where you are supposed to be, whether it is a physical location, whether it is a job, whether it is a line of work, whether it is a relationship or the ending of a relationship, your being already knows. And it is the fighting of City Hall that has you in this panic. It is the in-battling. It is your ego fighting with your soul's desire that has you in this panicked state. Get yourself quiet for 30 seconds and you will know. And I honestly believe that you already know. And that is part of what's causing this panic because you can't get comfortable where you have pretending to be comfortable for the last, I don't know how long. It's going to be different for all of you. But the feeling is that y'all have been lying to yourself for probably a good long time now. And this is spirit's reckoning. This is spirit's wake up call. This is spirit telling you it's time to choose you. And I want to emphasize that it is time to choose your heart's desire. It is time to choose your soul's path. It is time to choose what is truly aligned with the truth of who you are and not the ego, not the person, the part of you that has been trying to deceive yourself into ease by keeping you in places that have left you uncomfortable for quite some time now. There's good news here. I just want to make sure before I transition out of this feeling in my body, I just want to make sure that I've given you all that wants to come from this place. Bear with me while I listen. I feel like we're not quite complete, but I feel like I'm meant to move forward and I might have to come back. That's just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the image of that we've talked about here of time bending on itself. It's telling me to just move forward and it'll come back around. So I'm going to trust that. So the good news is, for as deeply uncomfortable as you are in this particular moment, it's temporary. What I'm hearing is what I heard yesterday, what I'm feeling now is that you're in the liminal space. And the liminal space, the in between space, is inherently really fucking uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable by design because you're not meant to stay here either. You are meant to choose in alignment with your heart, in alignment with your soul's work. You are meant to choose that path. And if you allow it, you will be shown exactly where it is that you are meant to go. And I'm going to say it again because I feel like part of the discomfort that you're feeling is that you already know where it is that you are meant to go, what line of work, what home, what person, what relationship, but whatever it is, you already know. And you have known this likely for a really long time. And the discomfort is that you are leaving the known behind and about to step into the great unknown. And you're in the middle, and the middle is uncomfortable. The liminal space, again, is inherently uncomfortable, but you can make it more comfortable for yourself by allowing yourself the grace to be here in this liminal space while you are getting really clear on the direct path. And the way you're going to get really clear on the direct path is going to be by surrendering to where you are in the moment. And I know that it feels like a conundrum. I know that it feels like you're circling. I know it feels like I'm hearing purgatory. I promise you it's not purgatory. It is truly in service of where you are meant to go. In this space, in this, I just heard in this stew, in because some of you are stewing here, and that's part of the panicky feeling, that's part of the grief. There is grief in leaving behind where you've been. There is grief in actions that you've taken or not taken. There's grief in leaving narratives behind, in leaving people behind, in leaving places behind. But where I think the deeper grief is and why you're so uncomfortable here in this liminal space is because what you're seeing and what you're feeling is not the outside of yourself things that you're leaving behind, but the inside of yourself, parts of yourself that have been so tender and that have been ignored and that you've actually been, like, what I'm hearing is like deceiving yourself. You're becoming aware of all of the ways that you have been deceiving your true self. And the grief is in this place. The panic and the grief, it's not, you think your mind wants you to think it's for the like the tangible people and places and things you're being asked to leave behind. But the real grieving is in the recognition of all of the ways that you have betrayed yourself, all of the ways that you have betrayed your own soul, your own highest self, your own highest unfolding, all of the ways that you have disappointed not other people and other places, but all of the ways that you have let yourself down. And give yourself a moment with those versions of yourself to give yourself not shame or blame or like I'm literally feeling like nausea, like physical illness for like that you're feeling for like the things that you've done and the words that you've said and the words you haven't said and the way you've treated your body and the way you've treated other people. You're being asked to come out of the shame spiral and to really get into the loving place in yourself, in the place where you can love that version of you that didn't know any better, that couldn't see the light of day, that didn't recognize the harm you were causing yourself, your body, people around you. Just even, and even if there's been no great, like, what's the word? It starts with a D. I don't even know. I'm like disparity. That's not even if you haven't caused or inflicted any great wounding, like even if no murder was committed, even if no one was harmed except yourself in the wounding that has been happening here, there's still a deep invitation to offer yourself so much love, so much grace, so much kindness, and just compassion, so much compassion for all of these old parts of you who have brought you to this place where you recognize that you can no longer be here and you're not quite ready to step into what's coming. And it's in that compassion, it's in that self-forgiveness, it's in that self-love, it's in, and I'm seeing the tarot card, the sun. It's in the sun shining its warmth on your whole being that the path of where you are supposed to go is going to illuminate. And what I'm hearing is here in this liminal space, here in this in between space where you're leaving the old self behind, but you haven't quite stepped into the new self. I'm just hearing that it's that compassion that is going to, that self-compassion that's going to light up the pathway, the next right step for you to take. You already know where it is that you belong. What I'm getting is you're just not quite sure how to get there. And so what I'm hearing for you now is that self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-love, taking that pause, grounding yourself, letting yourself have whatever feelings want to come, no matter how messy they are. And I'm hearing, what if it's rage? What if it's rage? Let that rage come out. It can't stay in you anymore, and you cannot take it to where it is that you are meant to go. Let it out now in whatever form it wants to take. No, not at another person, not at yourself. Go like barbarically yawp at the ocean if you're near an ocean. Go like pound your fists into a pillow. Go put on dark music and slam your body around. Do whatever you need to do to move that rage from your system, not at yourself, not at another. Just get it out if you're carrying rage. I'm just listening here. Just heard thank you. Someone is thanking me. You're welcome. You're so very welcome. Yeah. I feel like we're nearing completion here. You'll never find fulfillment in places you weren't meant to be. A lot of us have found ourselves in places we weren't meant to be because of our culture, because of our family, because of societal expectations. And we're in the middle of building a new earth. We're in the middle of the old world falling away. Hopefully, the whole planet doesn't get destroyed in the process. I don't think it will. And a new world being built. And if you are finding yourself in this place, It's because all parts of you that were part of the old world are dying off so that you can do your soul's work in the new world. And I want you to know that I'm actually really excited for you. I'm really excited for all of us. I'm really like, it feels like where you're going is luminous. It is filled with love. It is filled with fulfillment. And the discomfort also is in the not knowing and not having any concrete evidence in the bank that you'll succeed in this new version of yourself. But I want you to hear me and I want you to feel me in your bones and in your cells when I tell you that you will succeed. You wouldn't be receiving this message if success was not imminent for you. What I'm also hearing, though, now too, is the reminder that what your thinker thinks success is going to look like may not be where you end up on the other side of this liminal space. But I promise you, it is going to be better than anything you could possibly imagine or have evidence in the bank for right now. And now I feel like we're complete. I feel like this was a big one and maybe even a little hard one. So I just want to say thank you for listening all the way through. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for giving yourself this time and space to really process all of this. This may need a second listen if you're so compelled. I may actually go back and listen to my own words, which I sometimes do, because I often don't know what it is that I've even said here. And I'm like, oh, what was I even talking about? Let's go find out. Thank you so much. Thank yourself. Please like and share and subscribe and tell your friends. And I will see you here on Monday. Bye bye.